Well, I am Patricia Silva Flores. I'm from Chile. I'm a Chilean mycologist. I work in a university called Universidad Católica del Maule. This is in a city about 300 kilometers south of Santiago. So it's a small regional university. And in that place, I do my research on mycorrhizal ecology and also fungal ecology, mainly soil ecology. Another part of my lines of action are also mycorrhizal outreach, fungal outreach. I do a lot of outside academia activities and like workshops and talks and fungal observation in the field with people, many of those things. And I'm also part of, I'm a founder member of a network called South American Mycorrhizal Research Network that we established about in 2017. And we're about 350 members around the world, mainly from South America. And I'm very proud of this network because we have gathered a lot of colleagues from South America and also from other countries. And this has strengthened our research mainly, and to learn new techniques and to have the opportunity to meet with other scientists. So it has been really, really enriching. We have published 2 books and we have made many workshops. So this is a network which I'm very proud of and I really like very much. And I'm also part of the Society for the Protection of Underground Networks, SPOON. I'm an associate researcher and also an underground explorer, which is that I'm mapping some fungal networks in central part of Chile, which is a hotspot of biodiversity, severely endangered, and largely unknown. What is the fungal that are there? The fungi that are there are largely unknown. So I'm also happy to be part of this society, which is a network with researchers from all around the world. I would say that we are about 500 also, something like this. And I'm also part of the director committee of the International Mycorrhizal Society, and I'm in charge of the communications. So basically social networks and these type of things. And yeah, so I'm very active in the mycorrhizal world, and I'm super happy of that. Yes, definitely, definitely. It's because of this. I mean, yeah, we are very good at creating networks, maybe because unconsciously we mimic a little bit how fungi works. I mean, with the mycelia and creating these networks, like it's like the basic biology of at least filamentous fungi. So, which are most of the ones we know. So, yeah, it happens very spontaneously, I would say. I think it has to do with a little bit of fear of weird things because they doesn't look like plants, like have these weird shapes and colors, and maybe they were a little bit not that interesting at a first sight. And also because they are microorganisms, so most of the time we cannot see them, and we can see them only when the fruit bodies or spores production of structures of production of spores appear. So, and they were microscopic, so it was hard to really see them with the naked eye and to study with naked eye. So it's really nice that the first microscope that was developed several years ago was developed, and the first kind of draw from this microscopic life was from a fungus. So this is quite nice, and I think this was the beginning of discovering new things. And now they are starting to be much studied because we have the tools as well. Before we only made cultures of some fungi, but of course none of them grow, and that was a big bottleneck that we had to study the diversity. But now we have the help of molecular tools, and that also allows us to find new kind of species. So we are observing a larger diversity than was thought. I mean, it is estimated there are 2.5 millions of fungal species, and we have studied about 150. So it's a lot of work to do still. And we are learning that fungi has many characteristics that make them really promising kingdom. I mean, I don't like to see mushrooms like something useful, like fungi like something that is only for usefulness of humans. But still, I think many people is attracted to them because of that, because of good things that might give to your health, like human health. There's a lot of fungi that are related with medicinal mushrooms, So many properties that might be very interesting for a sustainable world, I would say, like how to do everything more friendly among the participants of the ecosystem. Not only for the human health, but also in terms of producing food as well, like in a more sustainable way. And I think we are lacking of, as humans, we are lacking of solutions, and mushrooms and fungi in general, they are like, they give me a lot of hope. Yes. I didn't make too much expectation of what is going to happen. I didn't thought that much about this. But now that we are already in the project and 2 residencies already have passed, it's been so much more enriching. I mean, the way of think, the way of do is constant questioning, discussing, super rich discussions. And this has opened so many things in my head that I'm sure it will improve my way of doing science. I mean, I'm very grateful because I have the feeling that I'm learning and receiving so much of everyone that is part of the project. Sometimes we have many interactions, and sometimes the outcomes of these interactions might not be that clear at the beginning, but once you start doing in your daily life, you realize that you learn deeply something, like, hey, I don't know, yesterday I was talking with a colleague about this and of the project, and I was telling him that I love how the artist spoke about these layers of complexity, and it's so simple but so rich at the same time, this concept of layers of complexity. And I don't know, I'm start thinking about this and how this can be applied to the teaching processes, for instance, with my students, and in how to do science that go one step, another step, and then something bigger will appear. And yeah, I don't know, this is just an example, but there are so many things. And for instance, with another artist, I have learned a lot about cooking, and this is super great. I mean, I was thinking the other day that I will be cooking with my daughters and remember her all the time, like, oh, this was taught by by the artists by Maya, like the artists of Switzerland. So, it's like these interactions in daily life, not only gathering to talk about our crafts, but the interactions of humans. This also give me a lot of new learning things that I'm sure I will see in my daily life. It's my wish also that my colleagues also have learned something about scientists. And yeah, I mean, we are a very open group, and we are all willing to share knowledge, like very generously, in a very fungal way. So like a network. So it's super nice. Well, now we are in our second residency of the Fungi Cosmology project. We are in Patagonia, in the southern part of South America. Some say the end of the world. Some others, like us, say the beginning of the world, or where the winds born, or something like this. And yeah, for me, this specifically this residency was super emotional because I was in my hometown and my territories, and it was all the time very moving for me. Like, even though I'm from this part of the world, there were many discoveries that I have never seen before. So this was really, I was super high on emotions all the time, like really, like what's the word in English? Like moved by every single thing that I saw. A lot of senses were activated. Not only the observation, but also the touch, the smells, the cold. It's like very, very intense, I would say. And for me, it was a privilege to have the opportunity to share this with so many wonderful artists and scientists and curators that also has this sensibility to interact with this territory in their different manners, because we are all different human beings, but still like the caring of observation, and always with so much respect, and with willing to learn what happened here before and how the forest works, and like very always open to learn a lot. So specifically to be here, well, as a scientist, for me was very interesting because, as I said, we found some mushrooms that we didn't know they were here, and of course we did we took some samples, and we are going to do some analysis. So for us, in the context of Chile, in the context of fungi science, as I said, there are so many species that are unknown yet, and we have to start to discover them, because for me to know the names of the individuals that are in the ecosystems, the fungi that are in the ecosystems, and to know what they are doing, and to know how many individuals are there, is a way to protect them as well. So for me, knowledge, it's directly related with conservation. So that is why I mainly do. And not only conservations in terms of not touching anything, but also how this knowledge can merge with humans, because we are part as well of this system, this natural system, and we have to learn how to interact in a healthy way with these systems, with this natural system. So For me, as much as we know of this system, the better we can interact with this system in a sustainable way. So for me, that's like the final aim with what I'm doing, as a scientist, as a regular scientist in my field, but also here in the Fungi Cosmology project. So this is like a scientist, but also to be with artists and with curators. It opened so much my perspective of how to look at the territory, how to interact with the territory. That is so much more that, of course, I cannot see because I'm so biased towards my fungi. So it enriched the experience absolutely, and I think everybody here are very open to receive these new learnings that everybody can give. So this is, I don't know if any residency this happens, but this is something that I think we should highlight from this residency. Mm-hmm. Okay, so something that I would like to add of what I'm being saying already is that, Patagonia experience was absolutely amazing, but we also had already our residency in the Amazonia, and we will have the third chapter in Switzerland, and I think that is inevitable to do like parallels, what is in common, what is different. And so far, what is common from Amazonia and here, I think it has to do a little bit with what Aboriginal people has passed through colonization process. This is something that I would like to go deeper maybe into the project, and how some ways of some people of making more profit of things goes with the erasing of so many memories, so many cultures. And this is something very strong for me. This is something that I would like to also analyze, maybe in Switzerland. I'm super ignorant whether you had this type of history so much time ago. I don't know. So this is something that I would like to look at. And also, this is something in common that we have Amazonia and Chile, at least. And of course, to compare the fungal diversity, because we are looking also at this, we are observing some contrasting patterns. So this is something that is also interesting. And also how sometimes extreme conditions tend to shape the way people is in every territory. These are kind of questions and thoughts that I've been thinking, like maybe the fungal biology, like how fungi behave or are, might help in answering these questions. I don't know very good how still, but I will look to do these connections, because this is a Fungi Cosmology project, and of course I don't want to take the mushrooms or the fungi in general. I would like to do the connections. I don't see it very good yet, but this is something that I would like to explore. That is something not that related with my field, but this has been discussed with other colleagues in the group, so I think this might be interesting. Yeah.